I'm Alex and you're here to watch CEO Girl Tips so I can tell you more about the world of jobs and internships. In today's episode, I decided to talk to you about how it's like recruiting a new person for your team. I need to admit, I'm one of the lucky ones, if not one of the very lucky ones, that was able to recruit during these pandemic times. Pretty exciting, right? When I was put in charge of it, I got really happy and excited for a couple of reasons. One, I can actually see how it's like having hundreds of applications on your hands. Two, I can actually handpick everyone I like. Three, I can form and understand my recruiting patterns. Four, I can spot a liar, and this is a story I'll tell you some other time. I can contribute at creating the basis of a super team and of an amazing company culture. This being said, I want to share with you a couple of mistakes I think I've made recruiting about 11 people, aka half of the team we are right now. Now, I'll give you a little bit of context. At the beginning of May, we changed our business model, and therefore we had to create new roles, understand what we need for them, and find people that can fulfill that role. Let me tell you that the majority of these roles were very peculiar and weird in some sense, because I don't know anybody who's recruited for such specific roles, but therefore this wasn't the easiest task to find the right fit for them. Putting this into perspective, these are the mistakes I've made when recruiting. Now, why do I call them mistakes? Because every single time I thought I can cut short the process and I can hire somebody for a specific role, two things happened. One is that they were not such a good candidate because they didn't have the relevant experience, therefore you could see it immediately, or when they got to the job, they failed miserably because they kind of walked their way through my heart and I decided to take them to the team, but they were definitely not a good fit. So here's what happened. One, initially I didn't have any proper JDs. This happened not necessarily because I didn't know what to write in those JDs, but because I thought those roles were so specific or maybe a little bit peculiar, and this made me think that I might actually scare people off and I won't have people to choose from. The more we started growing our team, I understood that it's very important to be a little bit more precise in what I'm looking for in order to be able to find the right people for us. I actually learned that recruiting is like marketing. You have to position your brand right, don't be shady in what you sell, and try to choose your channel right. Number two, no solid ground. Now what happened is that we knew that the people that we took were the right ones for us, but none of us, because everything was so fast-paced, none of us had time to spend time with them in like days of or weeks of training and try to create procedures and try to help them to put them on a solid ground so that they can grow. Everything was so fast-paced and everything was changing so fast that we realized that there are some people that are good at creating procedures and they like doing it, but there are some people that need procedures to be made for them in order for them to perform. And this is how we gained some and we lost some. Number three, clear evaluation metrics. Now, some of the people from my team told me that some of the positions were just a big mishmash at the beginning and they didn't know what to do with them and they had to walk their way through the position and figure out ways on how they can make their job at best. But at the same time, because everything was so uncertain, they weren't clear evaluation metrics, therefore as things changed on that position, things weren't exactly what we discussed at the beginning and the needs of the company were a bit different, and therefore neither us or them knew exactly how to evaluate their work. We did have 4 full months of learnings, but ideally I would have had time to create some metrics that we would have been able to evaluate after a period of time, and not be in a position where I have to start everything from scratch. Number 4, I did not test their organizational skills at the beginning with a personality test. Now you might say, Alex, come on. But you know, when I used to work for a coworker, or like before I got hired, they gave me a personality test. And one of the reasons why they hired me is because my personality test told them that I'm a very organized person. And this was something that they were looking for. Now, what does it mean to be an organized person? I can give shape and form to the work that I have on my hands and the responsibilities that I have on my hands. And many of these people that we hired proved over time not to have this organizational skills, which over time we understood that were very, 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 very important for us. At this point in time, we are very, very interconnected. And if one of us is not doing their job properly, or if he doesn't organize himself and his work very well, things are blowing into somebody's face and somebody else's faces like really fast. Number 5, I just thought that things are just gonna fall into place. Now, going back to the culture we have, or better said, we are building, I just thought that at some point in time, things are just gonna fall into place and nobody's gonna have to intervene. People are just gonna get along with each other and we will all be a big happy family. Until I realized that not all of them are mature enough, and again, I need procedures and ways on how to have mutual understandings. I need to understand who can do what and how much bandwidth they have and how much you can push them in order to do something or take some sort of responsibility. Because putting a lot of pressure and expectations on some of the people in the team that couldn't exactly handle things very well, or they were not prepared for something like this, was and is still a mistake that we would like to fix as soon as possible. It provokes frustration and annoyance, both from our side and their side, and I think things wouldn't have been where they are or where they ended up being if, again, there were procedures in place. And people knew exactly what to expect when they got into that job. Now, it would be super nice if you didn't judge, or if you wouldn't judge, but I thought sharing this information with you is to help you figure out things better, maybe from the beginning. This is the biggest learning experience I've had with a startup, where I can actually see hands-on like how things are being built, both procedures, business-wise, marketing, and very, very important for me, the team. This is everything I wanted to share with you today. I hope you like it. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and comment in the comments below if you have any questions. And I'll see you next time. Bye!